Welcome back everyone to another exciting recap, and today I really have something very special for you all. In my third round, I was paired against none other than the famous Indian chess coach and tournament organizer, Arena International Master Sushrutha Reddy. For those of you who don't know Sushrutha Reddy, he is an amazing chess coach who coaches over 1500 students in India, in the Karnataka and Bangalore states. I hope I pronounced those correctly. And in addition to all of that, he also won the Millionaire Chess under 2000 weight bracket tournament back in 2014. Alright, so that's enough with the introductions. Let's get right into the game. He's rated over 190 points above me, so I have the white pieces, and here I begin with b3, e5, bishop b2. This is my traditional 𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐬 setup. e3, d5, bishop b5, just pinning his knight, bishop d6, f4, and he really can't take because I'll just play bishop takes g7. This is our standard theory. Queen e7, knight f3, bishop g4. He's pinning my knight to the queen. So here the engine recommends castling, but I mean, I have experience with the f takes e5 line. This technically is an inaccuracy according to the engine, but this is what I usually play and it works for me. So I thought, I know that castling is more accurate, but since I have more experience with this line, I figured I'll just play what I know best. I know it's not exactly a healthy habit, but yeah, I went f takes e5. He took back, takes, and we have a ton of exchanges on the board. And here I castled, castles, and bishop takes c6. As soon as he castled, I eliminated his knight, because now this bishop, there's no longer pin, and so I just wanted to double his pawns. I play queen f5, and I wanted an exchange of queens. Just wanted to simplify things down to an endgame. And here he played rook a e8, and I knew, the engine may not say it's an inaccuracy, but I knew that something seemed rather off with this move. So I thought for a bit and I took. And my idea here was, once he takes, I go rook f4, which I played, and my intention is to swing my rook over to a4 and put pressure on this weak a7 pawn. That was my intention. So he's seeing this. Now, I think he probably panicked because he played knight e4. And the engine doesn't seem to mind this move much, but to me, I think this is a small issue because now I can just take. And he has an option. He can either capture back with the pawn or with the rook. And he went for rook takes, and this is in fact an inaccuracy. Going for an exchange here just means he has a much weaker position because he has two isolated double pawns. These aren't just double pawns, they're isolated, which makes them even more weak. So I go king f2, just trying to bring my king over to e2. I want to make sure this d2 pawn is protected by my king, so my rook can swindle over to f1 or potentially even go d3 in the future. Those are my ideas here. I thought if I just get my king over to e2, I'll be fine. f5, king e2, and here I made a mistake. I overreacted to his g5 threat. He wants to go f4. Alright, so I played g3. This was much too slow. The engine says just go d3. Just go d3 and open things up. After he takes d3, c takes d3, and you have rook c1, but I was like, what if f4 comes, g takes f4, rook takes f4, this can get problematic. I overreacted here, and yeah, g3, it's a mistake. So, and now d3, but actually d3 right away without g3 was much better. And here I took, because now this is an isolated pawn, these are isolated double pawns. True, my pawn, my e3 pawn is also isolated, but it's not so easy for him to attack this, right? He'll have to go to f8 and come to f3, but even then it's difficult because my king is always protecting this pawn, whereas this e4 pawn can very well be attacked. All right. And it was in this position, I think he realized all of this, and here he offered me a draw. And I was like, okay, he's rated 190 or so points above me. A draw would get my rating up for sure, but I was like, yeah, you know what? His position is technically much weaker than mine. I want to play on. I want to play for win here. I'm not accepting a draw, and I said, let's play on. And I played rook d1, and right after that he played rook takes d1, which is, according to the engine, as you can see, a blunder. The eval bar literally shoots up to like plus 3.6 for me here. King takes d1, he goes c5, and this is like plus 4 on the eval bar. King d2. My idea is simply to get my king to c4 and just pick up these weak pawns. Look at these are very weak. King f6, king c3, my king marches over, king c4. And here I have the option to play king b5 and just go for this a7 pawn, but I didn't like it much because I was like, my king gets stuck on this side of the board. I mean, I'm winning a pawn, that's true, but I was like, do I really need to go for this? Okay, let's analyze a sample line. King b5, maybe, I don't know, like c6, king here, king c7, king takes pawn, and after a6, I mean h3, and I just did, maybe I probably overthought this, but my king seems rather stuck. True, it'll get free after king d6, my king will eventually get free, but it's like on one corner of the board. It was like, I probably overthought it, you know. And I decided against this line. I was like, this game is clean winning for me anyway. I knew that even though the pawns were equal, I'm winning here. Alright, so I was like, you know what? I'll just play a waiting move. I played g4. He no longer has any h5 ideas here. And here he played king c6. Obviously stopping king b5. I went c3, just threatening b4 now. a6 and b4 comes. Here he played king d6 because, I mean, if you take, I just play c takes b4. I have a4. I can move my king over, win this pawn. I can play a3. I have so many options. King d6 is one line. King d4. Black's in big trouble. You really can't play c takes. I mean, regardless of what you do here, black's in big trouble here. So, okay, he did not take back, and instead he tried king d6. I played b takes c5. I took the pawn. He went king e5. And here I think he was hoping for maybe c6. My king would be kind of stuck. I mean, I would obviously not have that much room to breathe after c6. So seeing this, I push c6 myself. I mean, yeah, he can go king d6 if he wants, but then I just have king d4 and I'm winning this pawn. I'll go here, I'll win this pawn goes, and I just win. Alright, so yeah, I played c6, he went h6, and I just played a4, just asking him what I going to do. He played king e6. Now his king is no longer in the square, so king d4. Even king d6, I took. King takes c6, he took my pawn. King f5, and it was in this position that he finally resigned the game because there's simply nothing more to be done. My pawn will promote, and there's literally nothing he can do to stop it. So this was my game against one of India's famous chess coaches, AIM International Master Sushrutha Reddy. What a fun game, and to give credit to him, he played really well. I mean, if you're watching this, I mean, good game. You really fought hard. It was a well fought game. Very instructive. Had a lot of fun. Learned a lot. Alright, so that's it for this round 3 recap. I'll catch you all in the next recap. See you guys. Catch you all later. Bye bye.